Hi fellow bikers, we're off to South America on the 3rd of January. We're going to be flying into Bogota, picking the bikes up out of customs and then heading south down through Ecuador, through Peru, cross into Bolivia, cross into Chile and down into Argentina. You can follow us on the UK AJP Facebook page or on YouTube under FitBones. We're hoping we're going to get some really good weather, some great food and some great trails. Catch you all later, bye! So here's the bike. As I say, it's the new adventure bike from AJP. The model is the PR7. It's a 600cc single cylinder Husqvarna engine powered motorcycle. The engine has a counterbalance, which means it's pretty vibe free actually, which makes a real treat when you're trying to cruise on faster roads. Rather than have those horrible vibey hands that you used to get on some of the earlier bikes. So it's a pretty well bog standard bike. This is how they come from the factory, more or less. They come up front with lovely LED lights, really good quality, more than bright enough for the rottenest of roads. It's got this high screen. Now I noticed this screen really good. We bought the bikes in March this year and flew over to Porto to the factory to pick them up and rode them back. And I could ride this bike with an open face helmet and a pair of sunglasses, and that screen was really good. Just a little bit of a tickle of air over the top of the helmet, but nothing to bother my face. So I could sit with sunglasses on quite comfortably. So as you'll see, it's an adventure style bike. AJP are well renowned for their enduro motorcycles, and they're building on this to produce a bike that has enduro capabilities. This would be more than capable for quite serious competition work if that's what you chose to use it for, but it's also more than capable, geared up the way it is, for a really good adventure bike. Sits high off the ground, enduro type components, good bash guard, retracting footrests, good grips for your boots. Most importantly, low slung 17-litre fuel capacity. That's really important when you're off on some of these roads. I've been over to South America before, and I know sometimes you can have a stretch of 100, 120 miles before you see a filling station, and it's really important to know you've got that little extra fuel just to see you through those worried times, as it were. So I'd say pretty bog standard bike. We've changed the tyres. Originally came with Michelin's, but we've changed these to Pirelli Scorpios. Main reason for that is you wanted something that's good on wet roads, but also hard wearing and will give us good grip off-road. There will be quite a few miles of off-roading. We're planning at least a couple of thousand miles off-road, getting away from the black stuff whenever we can. We've added a plate on the back here just for supporting luggage. We tend to travel quite light, so we'll just have some luggage at the back here, tank pannier here, and a little rack at the back here for carrying some tools. The air intake sits up really high with the intakes at the front here. The electrics sit up at this level, so from previous experience of riding in Bolivia and doing river crossings, I know it is important to have all that stuff well out of the way for when you see a river crossing and you think it's quite good, and then you suddenly find there's a deep hole right in the middle and you sink a foot down. Seat, classic sort of adventure style seat. Looks quite firm, feels quite firm when you're pushing it, but in actual fact 4 or 5 hours on that so far, riding back through Portugal and Spain, I didn't find it a problem at all. I didn't get off with the cowboy legs as I have done on previous bikes. So Not worried about that at all. I think I'm going to be really comfortable on this bike. A couple of things that you look at and you think, well, you know, cheap mirrors, but actually they work quite well, because I can just slide these down, push them out the way when I'm going off-road, pull them back up when I'm traveling through traffic, and I don't really mind if they get bashed or bent. They're cheap steel, but I can straighten those out. They're not going to snap. A couple of little modifications we've made. As I say, we've changed the tires, put this rack on the back here, added a little additional cable here, although the bottom of this panel, which I'll talk about in a moment, it does have a USB charging point, but I've added this waterproof connection which enables me to add more than one device and charge it while I'm en route, which is quite useful. Hydraulic clutch. So that's the bike. More than capable of the sort of journey that we're planning on. The Husqvarna engine is a really rock solid engine. It's being utilised by so many manufacturers nowadays, so you know you're going to get spares for this, even in well, in the majority of countries spares shouldn't be a problem for the engine. AJP have been very supportive and have promised to back us up if we have any problems en route, so we've got some factory support there if needs be, but I'm not anticipating we'll need it really. Up front, the bike comes with a Samsung Galaxy tablet. Has the usual cheap sort of speedometer and panel at the front here where you have your fuel gauge and your tripometer and so on, but they've added this Samsung Galaxy tablet, and really this is pretty well all you need, and on a modern bike it's really convenient. You've got the ability to add different sort of speedometer drives, mostly just for fun and entertainment really, but you've got Google Maps, so you can plan routes. Obviously you need to be connected to your phone for 4G or Wi-Fi to do that, but you've got route planning there if you need it. I've added a GPS mapping system called Copilot. I've used this before around the world and traveling, and I find it ever such a useful system. Obviously we always carry maps and a compass and the usual wheel for measuring your distance, but you can't beat having this for getting yourself through big towns and cities. Just makes traveling so convenient. You can plan a route in here and go wherever you like. It's brilliant. I use a little stick, soft touch, so I can utilize this if it's raining with my gloves on and a bit of Velcro. It just sticks on there, never comes off, won't bounce off at all. Very useful device. Such a lovely convenient system to have right up front, very bright, very clear, right in your view. So I think that's going to be quite a bargain for us. So we'll be off shortly. We're planning on leaving on the 5th of December, and all that's left to do now is to take the bikes down to Roddy and Kathy at Motor Freight, who are going to crate them up and ship them off for us. If ever you need a really reliable company to ship your bike around the world, you can't beat these two. They are very good and very reliable. So I'll leave it at that, and we'll catch up when the bike's loaded up and ready to take out, and then we'll hopefully do some vlogging en route, and you'll be able to catch up and see how the bike's behaving, and more importantly how our bones are behaving. So here's the bike down at Motor Freight, all packed and ready to go. I'm having to dodge the water puddles here. Luggage that's going with the bike. Take it, Roddy, that's the packing case, isn't it? That's exactly. Here's Roddy of Kathy and Robbie, who have freighted bikes for me before over to South America, and it'll get packed up into one of these. If you ever need to take your bike on a trip to South America, this is the man that will do it for you.
Hi.
Very safely. Okay,